Hello everyone. Today I'm not going for a ride, but today I am going to work on the Hornet, the gymkhana bike. A couple of months ago I tried changing my fork seals, and because I didn't have the right tools, that didn't end very well. I ended up damaging them, and it was only a matter of time before they would burst and it would start to leak again, which is currently the case. So there's a lot of gunk up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace those fork seals. But while I'm at it, I'm going to install these new progressive springs. Replace the ones that are in there, and of course I'm going to update the oil from the stock 10W to 15W to get a bit more firm feel from the front, which should help me with the gymkhana. So I'm going to start with getting the bike up on the paddock stands and start removing the front wheel. Alright. And they are. Just need to release those. And that's pretty big. 24? Yeah, it's the 24. Now, before I can get the wheel out, I need to remove the brake calipers. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't take advice from me, because I am not a mechanic. I just fuck around with tools. So there's a hole in there. I'm going to take a screwdriver, push it through. That way I've got some leverage to take the axle out. And that is one front wheel. I'm going to set it upright because you never want to lay it down on the disc. Discs don't really appreciate that. So I now have the bike on the stand and the front wheel is removed, but I need to remove these pistons. And that's not going to work while it's being supported by this jack stand, this paddock stand. So what I'm going to have to do is lift up the bike so I can remove this paddock stand and that the pistons are completely free. So that's what I'm going to do now, and for that I'm going to use a jack and some jack stands. Okay, so jack. Let's see if I can lift it up and get the jacks under here. Alright, the bike is now supported by the jack. I've got two jack stands. And hopefully I left enough room, and it looks like I didn't. No, I'm going to have to redo it. A little bit further back. So I can securely put the jacks in place. Alright. balance it by myself because it's really near the center of weight. Alright, this should be good. Let's lower it slowly. Well, I said slowly, but you know. So, that's it. Get this out of the way. And this as well. Won't be needing this for now. So, the bike is now supported by the jack stand, and it's pretty solid. I mean, it's not going anywhere. If this is good enough for a car, it's good enough for a bike. So first, I'm going to release the top yoke. Just release it, not take it out completely, just release it. By doing that, I'm taking tension off the upper part of the piston. And that allows me to release this nut, because this nut, I mean, it protrudes about a centimeter in here. It's actually being held in place by the pressure being applied by the yoke. So the nut is in there, and it's being gripped like that, so it can't twist itself out. So that'll be the next thing. And I believe this is a size 19. It is not. So it must be a 17. It is. Now I'm just going to release it. Not remove it, just release it. That way I can take it off more easily when the piston is off the bike. Okay. Whatever you do, if you want to do this yourself, whatever you do, don't release this all the way because it's under tension. Even though the piston is completely in its released state, there's still some tension or pressure from the spring in here. So if you just twist this off, it'll go flying. So be careful about that. Just release it, and we'll take this off in a safe manner when the time comes. So the next thing would be this. This is a 13 or a 14, I think. Let's see here. What do we have? Do I not have this? Yes, this is 14. Let's see if I'm correct. I am. As I release this, this should release the entire yoke. The piston. You can see it slides out nicely. So, we have one piston. Okay. Next, we have to open up the piston right here. So, like I said before, I'm going to have to undo this nut here, but it's still under pressure. So I have to, do this in a way that's safe, so that it doesn't hit me in the face. While I'm here, I've also got this piece of cardboard, just if it spills oil, that doesn't go all over the floor. And this is just like, it's just basically a container for oil, so I can take it to be disposed of properly. Okay, so to take this nut off, I have my ratchet here. I'm not going to keep twisting it like this. I'm just going to do this carefully until I'm almost there, I think. But now I'm going to take a towel. I'm going to wrap it over top of this. Like this. Can I still? No, I can't. So I'm going to put this on here. And then I'm going to wrap it in this towel. So that when it comes off, it will be contained by the towel. There it is. See, it jumped up, but the towel caught it. there it is. You can see by how much it shot up. So it just popped out. So I'm going to take this off. And now let's remove some of the gubbins that's inside here. So this is a spacer, which we'll have to take out. And down there is the spring. So I'm just going to start emptying this. And I'm just going to keep my finger here. Oh my god, I just replaced this oil a couple of months ago and it already looks like really shitty. Here's the springs. Spacer and one spring. No, there's definitely more oil in there. There it is. You cannot believe how much this stinks. This is absolutely horrible. So, to remove the piston seals, I'm going to start with getting these dust covers off. Now I need to be careful because I do not have spares of these. So I should be careful not to damage these. Although they are not critical to the operation of the fork. They're just there to keep dirt and grit away from the actual oil seals. There we go. That is one dust seal. And I haven't damaged it. Okay. Now the problem also, I'm going to get a little uncomfortable. The problem also was last time that I couldn't get these seals deep enough. So there's like a retainer ring in here, and I couldn't get it to seat the way it should have. So I'm going to get that retainer ring out. There we go. And in order to not damage the tube here, I'm going to lift it off. Never ever try to force it off this way because you'll score the tube, and by doing that, that will in turn damage the actual oil seal and it'll start leaking again. So always lift things up. Now, I can already see the oil seal here. It is really bad. To get this out, we're going to have to use this as a hammer. Actually, I may have to remove the damper. I hope I can get it out. And I can. Last time this was a real issue. I couldn't get it out, and I had to go to the dealer and ask for his help to get it out with an air gun. If you have the right tools, people, the right tools have the job. As you will see when I try to hammer in this actual piston seal. That's more filthy oil coming out. I reckon this should make my life a whole lot more easy. So now I can get the entire damper assembly out. Here we go. There you go. It is out. And here we have the tube with 3 more parts, being a rubber ring, a copper ring that keeps the assembly together, This really doesn't ever need replacing. And there's a spacer here, which we're going to leave in place because we don't need it. And the fork seal, and just look at the state of that. As you can see, this is completely ruined. I ended up hammering it in with a screwdriver, which is the thing you should never do, but I didn't have anything else, and the bike needed to be finished. And I tore through this little spring here that basically pulls the rubber against the tube and actually seals the piston. So I tore that, and the moment I saw that, I knew this was bound to fail, and it did after just a few months. I was surprised it lasted as long as it did. So this is what we're here to replace. Well, so here is the new seal. Just have to work out how to install it. But it should be like this, with the lettering facing up. So, and this is the tool, which is a specific tool for this diameter of tube. For every single diameter, there's another size tool to install these piston seals. This is the tool I didn't have last time, and I didn't get it because I thought it would be super expensive, but it turns out the place where I bought these new seals, they also had these, and this was 30 euros. So really, for 30 euros, you can't risk having to replace them afterwards again. So I may only use this once, but still it's going to be worth it because it's still cheaper than having it done for me. And to get the new seal in place, I'm just going to lubricate the fork a bit on the inside of the seal with a bit of fork oil to protect it against any scoring that may be here already. Good. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to reinsert the tube into the stanchion. No, I shouldn't. Wait, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. Because I was thinking of this assembly here, but that goes in afterwards. Okay, so let's get it into place. Let's get it as square as possible. And now let's get the this tool here. Wrap it around. Well, I could have just gone over it, but that doesn't matter. And this will act as a hammer. See, and that just banged right into place. I was fighting with this for hours with the previous jimmy rig tool that I made, and it didn't work at all. Then I tried with screwdrivers, and even that didn't work. This tool, 30 euros, 2 seconds. That's worth it. That's totally worth it. So now that this is in place, we can take this this spring here and put it back into place while being careful not to score the actual tube. There's a groove in here where this ring sits in, and it'll just snap into place, and it did. And that keeps the actual seal in place, so that is perfect. Now all I need to do is get the dust seal on there, and we're done. There, so that sits nicely. And we have new seals, that is awesome. Now, to reinstall the damper, which is still just fucking dirty with this crap oil. I swear to God, this was fresh oil just a few months ago. Alright, now I need to get this into place. It needs to sit in a particular way so we can reinsert the screw that I got out of the bottom. So I hope it caught. No, it didn't. Try and push it down a bit. Yeah, I can feel it pushing against it now. Yeah, I think I got it. This isn't really the right tool for it, but it's what I've got right now. So just nip it into place. Doesn't really need to be tight, because if you do it up tight, well, you're not going to be able to get it off afterwards. So I'm going to put the fork upright and start pouring in oil until I reach the level that I need. Let's make sure that the leg is fully compressed. Well, that's about it. And the next one. Ah, this doesn't smell right. Now, I filled up the oil level. It's probably not going to be at the level I need, so it's still dry. But that doesn't matter, because as you saw, I put the damper in there again. And there's still going to be some air trapped in there, so to get the air out, we need to move it up and down a bit. You can hear it bubbling. We'll need to do that until it stops bubbling. Another solution is to just let the fork stand for a few minutes. I think it should be okay now. It's actually dropped quite a bit. I think we're almost there. Not yet. This is really difficult to gauge, actually. So it's at 10.3 now. And that's right, just the tip here is wet. So that means I fill it to the correct level, so I can now put the spring in. Now in this case, the spring needs to go in with the tightly wound coils on the bottom. On some other bikes it's the other way around, but this is how this spring came out, and it's how the Haynes manual prescribes it for this specific bike, because apparently for other model years it has to sit like this, but for this model year it has to sit like this. Now before I insert it, let's just see if there's absolutely no air coming up. That looks fine. I'm going to pull the spring out completely, because if I don't and drop the spring in like that, the oil is going to come up over the top, so I don't want that. So let's get the spring in there, and it sits right over the top here. Okay. Now I need my socket wrench. Here it is. It's set up to close. Okay. So there was a washer. Let's put it on top here, and then the actual nut. So now it's a matter of compressing the spring by hand and threading it in. This is going to take a little bit of force. Nope. The spacer keeps moving. Okay. Just pushing it down. Got to rotate. There we go. Let's be careful now. Good, it's in. I'm going to twist it a bit further to make sure it's on by more than just one thread, because I don't want it to jump off. Okay. Whew. Now I'm going to twist it up a little further, but I'm not going to torque it just yet. I'm going to do that on the bike for the same reason that I undid this nut with a cap before I took it out of the yoke, because it's there's no point in trying to put force on this, because it's just going to twist, and holding it is not going to work. So I'm just going to put this back on the bike, and then I'm going to torque this up this back. Now, to put this plug back in, I'm going to need my 14mm socket again. There it is. I'm just going to thread it in here again. Alright. Now this doesn't matter. You can twist this around afterwards, so that's okay. Now at the top here, normally this between the lip here, between the nut at the top and the actual top of the fork, it needs to sit flush with the yoke here. But in my case, because I want the bike to feel a bit more pointy, I'm going to move it up by about 1 centimeter. So I'm going to leave it sticking out by about 1 centimeter. Measured from the top here, top of the yoke, to the top of the actual fork. And that should be the same as it is here already. Well, I think I have it at 1.5 centimeters here. Let's see. Oh, this is about 1 centimeter, so okay. Let's leave it at the same height. That should be good. And now I'm going to nip up this nut here. Just move it so it clicks no further. It clicks, so that's fine. Don't force it. And the top bolt. They click, so that is fine. They clicked. That's good. That's it. That's the fork into place. Isn't that wonderful? So that's one fork done. And now I just need to do the second one. Alright, so I've replaced both fork seals and replaced both springs in the pistons. So all that's really left to do right now is to put the wheel back in its place, refit these brake calipers, and get the bike back down. So let's get to that, alright? And that's it. We're done. Replaced the fork seals, the springs, put everything back together, and the bike is now back on the jack stands, on the paddock stand, so I can just take it off and go on my merry way. So, I hope you learned something. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like at the bottom. Alright, thanks for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.